Nothing But the Truth. Hello, I'm Raj Chengappa from India Today and your host for Nothing But the Truth. Every week, we will deal with key issues of concern and bring you perspectives and clarity as to why these matter to you and what is the clear truth that emerges. It's certainly going to be a politically hot summer with the Election Commission of India deciding that elections will be held in Karnataka on May 10th, which is just a little over a month from now. It also happens to be my home state, and I spent my formative years in magazine journalism covering its political progress. The 2023 Assembly elections in Karnataka will be the most keenly fought contests and also the most watched one across the country because the outcome will have major bearings on the fortunes of both the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP and the country's main opposition party, the Indian National Congress. So in this episode of Nothing But the Truth, we will analyze why the Karnataka elections are so important, what are the key factors that will determine the outcomes, including the issues, the personalities, and the strategies of the parties involved. So let's begin by looking at why the Karnataka election is important, and there are three major reasons for that. One, for the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP, the state is a must-win, as Karnataka is the only southern state where it has a strong presence. In all the four other major southern states, whether it is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, its presence is almost negligible. One must add, though, that in Telangana, a state that will go to the polls towards the end of 2023, it is gaining some traction, but the BJP still has tremendous distance to cover. A loss in Karnataka will be a huge setback to the BJP's plans to make major inroads into the southern bastions. On the other hand, if the Congress wins with a full majority in the state, it will signal the revival of India's grand old party. True, the Congress wrested back Himachal Pradesh from the BJP in the recent assembly polls, but a big win in Karnataka will give the party the momentum to take on the BJP nationally, and also give it the psychological advantage when the three important states, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan, go to the polls in November. There is also an added benefit because with the heft it will get when it retains or wins Karnataka, its position as the principal opposition party in the country will be established apart from the fact that it could become the fulcrum of opposition unity. The state Congress party, to its credit in Karnataka, has a strong presence bolstered by two prominent leaders, Siddaramaiah, who was chief minister from 2013 to 2018 when the Congress ruled the state, and DK Shivakumar, the current Congress president. They are both contenders to the post of chief minister, and so far the Congress has refrained from naming a CM candidate as they go to the polls. The party is aware that it needs to keep the two leaders united if it has to do well in the assembly poll. Karnataka, though, is a three-cornered political contest. Apart from the BJP and the Congress, the Janata Dal Secular, or the JDS, headed by former Prime Minister Deve Gowda, remains a formidable force and is considered a kingmaker if the electorate throws up a divided verdict. The 2018 Assembly election is a telling reminder of that. That election saw a fractured verdict. The BJP, which was expected to cash in on the anti-incumbency of the then Congress government, headed by Siddaramaiah, emerged as the single largest party with 104 seats. But it was still 9 seats short of the simple majority of 113 seats of the 224 needed to form a government in Karnataka. The Congress had won 78 seats, and the JDS came third with 37 seats. The Congress and the JDS decided to join hands and form a coalition government as their combined numbers totaled 115, two more than the simple majority needed. H.D. Kumaraswamy, the JDS leader and son of Deve Gowda, was sworn in as chief minister. The BJP, which was smarting at being denied power, then struck back soon after the results of the May 2019 Lok Sabha election. Though the Congress and the JDS had entered into a seat-sharing arrangement, they together won only 2 of the 28 seats, with the BJP sweeping 25 of them and a BJP-backed independent candidate winning the remaining seat. So in all, the NDA, or the National Democratic Alliance, had 26 seats. Within months of the Karnataka Lok Sabha results, major defections from both the JDS and the Congress to the BJP saw the coalition government fall. The BJP then took over the reins with its tallest leader, B.S. Yedurappa, taking over as chief minister. But in 2 years' time, in the midst of COVID waves, the BJP decided that it needed to replace Yedurappa and brought in Basavaraj Bommai as chief minister. Now, both belong to the Lingoid community that has solidly backed the BJP in almost all the elections recently. But Yedurappa continues to hold sway of the sizable number of Lingayats, and the BJP has wisely involved him in both the campaign and seat selections for the polls. But it is to be seen whether bringing in Bommai has made a difference to the party's polls chances. The BJP has been careful and has so far not announced Bommai as its CM candidate, and may not do so before the voting takes place on May 10th. Respected psephologist Sandeep Shastri of the CSDS Lokniti points out that defectors continue to play a major role in Karnataka politics. When I spoke to Shastri recently, he pointed out that both Chief Minister Bommai and the leader of the opposition, Siddaramaiah, were in the Janata Dal before Bommai moved to the BJP and Siddaramaiah to the Congress. In fact, more than half of Bommai's cabinet members have made multiple party switches in their career. A third of the cabinet were first elected to the JDS or the Congress ticket before they resigned and joined the BJP. Sandeep Shastri also brings out other interesting facts. He says that 1 in every 6th MLA in the Karnataka Assembly, which amounts to around 38 of the 224 MLAs, have been elected on more than one party ticket in their careers, and that nearly a fourth of the current BJP MLAs, or 28 of the 119 that they have won an election previously from a different party. Similarly, 10% of the Congress party members, or 7 out of 75, have also been MLAs from different parties. Sandeep Shastri believes that this fluidity in loyalty is one of the factors for each of the parties being riven by factions, making it difficult for them to manage their flocks. In the BJP, that has the maximum number of turncoats, there are both pluses and minuses. While it has enabled the BJP to grab power in the state, there is also resentment among the old guard of the party. Having looked at the backdrop and the importance of the elections, now let's examine the key factors that could determine the outcome. It's early days yet, but among the major factors that could put the BJP at a disadvantage is the anti-incumbency against the ruling dispensation. Karnataka has rarely had a ruling party return to power, and it will be seen whether the BJP can buck that trend. Yashwant Deshmukh, founder and director of Sea-Voter, a reputed polling agency, became the first to get off the block by doing an opinion poll before the election schedule was announced. Interestingly, Sea-Voter gives the Congress a full majority with a range of 112 to 118 seats, while the BJP gets around 70 to 80 seats. When I spoke to Deshmukh about the findings of his poll, he says the reason is that anti-incumbency is the biggest deciding factor. The second point he made is that the Congress party seems to have a popular alternative leader. So when the Sea-Voter asked those it surveyed who would they want to see as the next chief minister, as many as 39% wanted Siddaramaiah to be there, as compared to 33% for the incumbent Bommai, with Kumaraswamy of the JDS, the other contender, getting around 18%. Interestingly, DK Shivakumar got only 3% of the backing, indicating where the Congress supporters' preferences lie. The other factor that is pulling the BJP down is that there is an undercurrent of anger against their sitting MLAs for not delivering in their individual constituencies. There is also a perception, Yashwant Deshmukh says, about the corruption that is there in the state, which the Congress has been attacking the government with. However, Pradeep Gupta of Access My India, another top psephologist who has a phenomenal track record of predicting the outcome of recent assembly elections and the Lok Sabha, is not willing to join overtly the prediction game. When I asked him which way the wind is blowing in Karnataka, his answer was a cryptic one: it's going to be a good fight. And that, in fact, is a telling answer. Pradeep's analysis is that there are two major X factors that are at work in Karnataka. The first is geographic, and the second is the caste calculus. Now, when it comes to geography, Pradeep divides the state into 6 regions. The 6 regions are, and I'm going to go into a little in depth into this, so bear with me. There is Bangalore Urban, which is really Bangalore City, which has 28 seats. And then there is the old Mysuru region, which consists of Bangalore Rural, Chamarajanagar, Chikbalapur, Chitradurga, Hassan, Mandya, Kolar, Mysuru, Ramnagar, Tumkur, Bangalore Rural, and Kodagu, which is my home district. Together, these total a whopping 64, or a little more than the third of the state, and is decisive in terms of who will form the next government in Karnataka. The third region is the districts of Karnataka which abut Maharashtra state, and these are Bagalkot, Belgaum or Belgavi, Bijapur, Dharwad, Gadag, and Haveri. This region is known as the Maharashtra Karnataka and constitutes 50 seats and is another major region that decides the outcome of the polls. Then there are the districts that abut Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh, known as Hyderabad Karnataka, which consists of Bellary, Bidar, Gulbarga, Koppal, Raichur, and Yadgir. Now these account for 40 seats. Then there is Central Karnataka that has Chikmagalur, Davanagere, Hassan, and Shimoga. This has 23 seats. And finally, there is Coastal Karnataka that has Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, and Uttara Kannada that contributes around 19 seats. Now, these are the 6 regions that Pradeep Gupta has classified, and he says the 3 parties have their strengths in each of these regions, and some of them dominate some of the districts. So according to Pradeep, in the old Mysore region or Mysuru region, which is critical, traditionally the battle has been between the Congress and the JDS. So this is a make or break area for politics, especially for the Congress. If the JDS gets 1% more, he says, it translates to an additional 10 seats for them when it comes to voting. Remember that in 2018, the elections that was held then, the assembly elections, the JDS won 26 of its 37 seats from the old Mysuru region, while the Congress got only 20 seats and the BJP 60. The Congress did far better than the BJP and the JDS in the Hyderabad Karnataka region as well as in Bengaluru, while the BJP did well in the Maharashtra Karnataka region, Central Karnataka, and in Coastal Karnataka. Pradeep's point is how these parties perform in their traditional bastions and also expand their seats into other regions will be key to their success. Which comes to the second factor which he talks about, which is the caste grouping. While the BJP is known to have the solid backing of the Lingayats, and don't forget both Yadurappa and Bommaya are Lingayats, the JDS has an extensive Vokliga base with both Devagowda and his son Kumaraswamy belonging to this second major caste group. The Congress under Siddaramaiah, who is an OBC, and Shivakumar, who is a Vokliga, have strong following in these communities. Also, with the National Congress President, Mallikarjun Kharge, belonging to the scheduled caste, this adds to the party's broad-based support. The Muslim vote, which constitutes 13% of the population, is usually divided between the Congress and the JDS. Pradeep Gupta believes that the biggest story in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections was the near clean sweep for the BJP of the 28 seats in Karnataka. Though the Congress and the JDS entered into a pre-poll alliance for the first time, they were able to win only 2 seats, and the BJP gained ground even in their bastions in the old Mysore region. The 2019 poll showed that the BJP had cut across all barriers in the Lok Sabha elections, and it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's towering presence that won the day for the BJP. Now the BJP is banking on Modi's charisma to overcome anti-incumbency and the other negative trends in the coming assembly polls. Also, as Pradeep points out, the recent polls, whether in UP, Gujarat, and Assam, the ruling BJP returned to power, bucking anti-incumbency trends. So there is hope for the BJP. The Karnataka electorate is said to be extremely discerning when it comes to voting, and on many occasions have voted for separate parties for the assembly and Lok Sabha polls. In the 1984 Lok Sabha polls, for instance, Rajiv Gandhi's Congress swept the seats in the state, winning almost 24 of the 28. But in the assembly polls that followed, the Janata Party under Ramakrishna Hegde won a spectacular majority. What is clear is that the next month will see one of the fiercest political battles being fought in Karnataka. It could be a fight to the finish, and it is to be seen whether the electorate will vote decisively this time or there would be a split verdict. Right now, it's too hazardous to make any prediction, so I will not do so. Thank you for listening to this episode of Nothing But the Truth. I look forward to having you with me the next week. nothing but the truth.